Welcome to Teachings from the Masters with Daryl Shaun Price.
Hi, welcome. So glad you're here. So I want to talk today about what it really means for you to shift internally. So we talk a lot about, on this podcast, you living in the wish fulfilled, about you changing who you are because you don't create what you want, you create what you are. Everything that you create is a reflection of you. But I want to really talk about what it means to shift internally. And I'm going to guess that most of you are caught in this loop of imagining something not from the state of already having it, but from the state of the current you and how you would act and react if that happened as the current you. And that's probably where a lot of the blocks are. It's probably where the stuckness is coming in. And let me explain a little bit. So let's say you're imagining financial freedom and you've got so much money and you can do whatever you want with it. And you might even have a specific amount of, this money when it comes in. And likelihood is you are imagining, and if you're following what we've been teaching, you're imagining a scene of once you have that amount of money. And it might be, I'm going to be so celebratory and I'm going to this and I'm going to go buy the house and I'm going to go pay off the debt and I'm going to go do this and I'm going to do whatever I can to protect it so I don't lose it again. And if you think about it, that's not somebody who has that much money. That's somebody who you are now that would act the way you are now if you had that much money. Somebody who's completely financially free isn't worried and stressed about, I got to pay off all the stuff. I got to do all the things. I've got to go buy all the houses. I've got to go protect the money. That's still a scarcity mindset. So let's take an example from relationships. Let's say your big thing is, I want my significant other, or I want my happy family relationships, or whatever it is. And you imagine having it. And my guess is you're thinking, it'll be so blissful and amazing, and it'll feel like every single day is a cherished, loving day, and I will never take for granted relationships again, and we will always be so lovey-dovey and affectionate and romantic. Or if it's your family, we will go on trips all the time, and we're always going to hang out, and we're always going to do things together, and we're just going to understand each other. Again, a lot of this is imagining you currently reacting to a change externally. Let's take health. That's the other big one that people always are focused on. So all of a sudden you're healthy and you've lost all the weight. And you imagine, I'm going to go buy all the clothes and I'm going to go do all these things and I'm going to go and sign up for all these activities I never would have before because I was embarrassed about my body. And I'm going to go and just cherish and enjoy every moment. And I'm going to go start running and swimming and doing all these things I never did before because I wasn't healthy enough. Again, that's not shifting you internally. That's imagining the current you having a situation shift. Let's talk about the difference. If you have really, really become in tune with the vibration of the thing you want feels normal. It doesn't feel like this big, huge, exciting, different thing. Oh my gosh. It feels normal. So think about the money one. You have all the money in the world. You can do whatever you want. You're completely financially free. You're not out there panic buying and hurrying to pay off debt and rushing to protect it because you might lose it. Because you're somebody who's financially free. And the identity of someone who's financially free doesn't worry about the money, period. So what you've really done, if you're living in that weird excitement, is you're shifting the intensity of worry to the intensity of excitement. And you're still creating a reality where money is scarce and I got to do stuff with it and I've got to protect it and I've got to go buy things right now. Versus, I have more than enough. I can do whatever I want. Somebody who has more than enough and can do whatever they want isn't focused on the money because that's already done. It's like, I've beaten that battle. I've checked that off the list. I've conquered money. I'm the master of it. It's good. And somebody who has that is likely somebody who is playing with the money, who is investing it, who is doing things with the money that aren't survival focused of, oh, go buy the house and pay off the debts, and I got to worry about this, and what do I do to protect it, and how do I make sure that I'm not going to lose it, etc. This is why you hear stories over and over and over again, people who win the lottery and then go bankrupt a few years later. Because they never shifted their internal to have the capacity to receive and keep the wealth. The external shifted, they never did. They went right back to the same external result that they were already living in. This time probably worse and magnified. And this is a beautiful, beautiful, tender mercy that you give yourself. Yes, you have a desire for financial freedom and tons of money and want to be able to do whatever you want and want the freedom to go and travel, etc. But you're not getting it until you have the capacity to truly receive that money. So much so that when you're in that vibration and that moment happens, it's not going to be this huge, tearful, relief, crying, emotional experience. It'll feel like it naturally happened. The same thing goes for relationships. It will just fall into place and flow naturally. And it won't be this, oh my gosh, we got to celebrate each other. How wonderful. We're finally together and we've got all the things. It'll be, yeah, we support one another. That love is there and we live our normal lives in a way that's supportive of each other. It feels normal. Same thing with health. It's not going to be this huge, oh my gosh, look at this. I'm amazing. And I now have this beautiful body and I'm now fit and I'm now strong. And I just love and love and love and love my body. No, you'll love your body as a normal thing. It won't be this exciting moment of, holy cow, look at this. Let me give you examples from my life in all three areas. So first off, I'm going to get really, really vulnerable here. I'm not going to go into details because details of my specifics in my life don't matter. I'm here to help you. But in the last 4 years, I have manifested around $400,000. And each time another chunk of money came in, it wasn't like this, oh yeah, look, celebrate, woohoo, look at what we've done. And oh my gosh, let's go buy all the things. It just kind of flowed naturally with where my mindset was. It came in. Somebody called me and said, here, I want to give you this money to do this thing. Or, oh, let me give you this money so that you can build this thing. Oh, let me give you this money so you can start playing more with money. The moment I was at the capacity to receive and it was normal, it just happened. Now, yeah, it doesn't mean that I have everything I want. It doesn't mean I've already mastered that. It means that the state I was in is what I created. And I'll tell you, even in that 400,000, I found my own blind spot because I was also living in the belief that I can have money given to me. People want to give me money with strings attached. So I always had to deal with those strings attached. And those strings attached limited my freedom. But I got what I had the capacity to receive. I had the capacity to receive money as long as I fulfilled the strings attached. Great. Now I know exactly what to shift for the next. Now I'm going to receive money that doesn't have strings attached. So I'm truly free. Let's take relationships. So I was in a marriage for 11 years that was not healthy for either one of us. I've now been divorced for way longer than I've been married. If I think about it, it's been about 15 years, so not way longer. So I've now been divorced for 15 years. I've been officially single since then, but I've had a lot of relationship situations. I've had a lot of connections with people. I have a lot of people come in and out of my life. And at one point, every person that came into my life was toxic and drama. Not because I wanted toxic and drama, but because that's what I was safe receiving. And a lot of that was, oh, there was passion and there was romance and there was affection. It felt so good and the tingles and the butterflies. But then it was right back to, an issue, right back to trying to attach in a toxic way, right back to going to the same cycles until I had the capacity to receive more. Now I have a beautiful tribe that I live with. We support each other. We celebrate our individualities. And it isn't this great, grand, wonderful thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we just frolic through the tulips together. No. We trust, we love, we support one another. And I have the family the way I always imagined a family feeling. The moment I had the capacity to receive it, and it was normal to me. Take health. A few years ago, I was dying in the hospital. Doctors didn't know what was wrong. They didn't know that I would get out of the hospital. 3 days after that, I got up and walked, which didn't know if I would ever do again. A few months after that, I'm on a weight loss journey that wasn't, oh my gosh, I got to push and push and push and push and push and push and push. And oh my gosh, I gained a little bit of weight. I hate myself. There was no ups and downs and emotional roller coaster. I gained the capacity by switching who I was internally to feel normal with having a healthy body. And sure, there's experiences I have where I'm reminded that, oh, I'm not exactly perfect at it yet. And there's little things here that I still got to work on. When I mean work on, it's not, I'm going to sit here and push and push and push. It's, oh, I'm still attached to this external that is blocking my capacity. And I'm going to release it now. I'm now stronger than I've ever been physically in my life. And it's only getting better. I now get to wear clothes that make me look good and feel good about myself. And it wasn't this big, huge push and fight and force. It happened naturally. Day by day, I woke up and like, I'm going to do this. Oh, this feels good. I'm going to start eating this. Oh, I feel like having this tea. It just flowed. So what about you? What is it that you are truly imagining? It doesn't actually feel normal. It feels so exciting and so big and so amazing. And that means you haven't shifted your internal to match that vibration yet. You haven't shifted enough of your beliefs to let go of the attachments to become that new person. So let's talk about how you do that. So, and then, by the way, there is a guide on DarylShaunPrice.com you can download that will help you do this on a daily basis. First, starts with calming your body and regulating your nervous system. The body is the vessel that you are now using to interact with the physical world you create. And when the body becomes accustomed to certain patterns and routines, its natural defenses go off if you try to break those patterns and routines. And sometimes this nervous system isn't this, oh, panic, fear that most people talk about it is. Sometimes the nervous system being overreactive is, oh my gosh, excitement, and I can't stand it, and I can't wait till this comes. It's like a kid at a candy store. It's like Christmas morning. No, calm the body. When you're in a state of calm, when you're in a state of feeling safe, that's when you start to shift your being. So once you, and every morning, practice getting in alignment by first calming your body. Then you focus your mind. Meditate. Get back into the imagination of once you've had whatever that desire is. But not in a way of, oh, I'm going to go do this and this and this and this. So exciting. Just, I already have it. The excitement's past. Because there will be some emotional spike when the first transformation happens. Absolutely. But once that's settled, what is life like? Once you've settled and have had the financial freedom, the happy relationships, the healthy body, what does that feel like for that to just be your new norm? Imagine a day in the life of you, that person that is that already, that already has that, isn't seeking for it, isn't planning what to do when that happens, already has it, it's already done. And allow that shift to feel. Once you feel it, That's your new normal. That's the feeling you're staying in. That's the vibration of you creating from who you are. So throughout the day, you just observe and listen. Observe and listen. So something happens and you get into panic and it feels like, well, what if that doesn't happen? Oh, I'm just going to observe that. Okay, that's an old thought. I found it. That's an old attachment playing out. I don't think that anymore. You observe it, observe the feelings till they pass, and ask yourself what feels like peace. And you continue to do this until that new state of being becomes normal. And the moment you have the capacity to receive, it appears. The moment that becomes normal to you, it appears. It has to. But as long as it's exciting and huge and, oh my gosh, I can't wait, or oh no, what if it doesn't come? You're pushing it away. So coming back to the Wu Wei philosophy from Taoism, the master does nothing, and yet through the master, nothing is left undone. There's also other statements in the Tao Te Ching, like the master is at one with the Tao, and so the master can do anything. You're doing nothing because your job is to be at one with the Tao or live in alignment. The reality is this, and ancient masters throughout all of history have had this in their texts in some form. But you're an alchemist, you're a wizard, you're a magician, you're a witch, whatever you want to say. You are a magical being that is taking energy that already exists in all things and transforming it into physical experiences and matter. And in fact, one of my favorite meditations that I created, probably the most powerful meditation I have used to manifest the things I just told you about. I am literally stepping into that role. I am stepping into that role where I am channeling the elements, those elements that are talked about in the Emerald Tablet, in the Tao Te Ching, in ancient alchemical texts, in the Hermetic principles. It doesn't matter where you get them from. It's the same over and over again for a reason. So in this meditation, which by the way is available on DarylShaunPrice.com, if you'd like to use that and that tool feels drawn to you, I get to channel and get in tune with earth and water and fire, which are the elements that are seen and compose every experience and matter that you have any interaction with. And I'm also channeling the air, which is the unseen element, the spirit below, the spirit above. And it all goes to the spirit within, which is my heart. And that's where it combines. And whatever vibration you have stepped into and embodied, that's what is projected out for you to experience. So manifestation isn't some, wow, I can't wait to have the bazillion dollars. And oh my gosh, it's so exciting, so exciting, so exciting, because you're not embodying the person who has that. You're embodying the person who wants to have that. So you need to make that new you feel normal. Coming back to my daily practice, got a little off on a tangent there. Coming back to my daily practice, if there is anything that pops up that feels like peace, I follow it no matter what. Not because the inspired action is leading to that thing, even though my mind wants to think so, but because it is inspired action. I just had an impression to get up and go to the store. Maybe the store leads to some big, huge thing. Maybe it doesn't. Doesn't matter. I had the impression to do it. I'm going to follow it. I follow my intuition. I follow the peace no matter what. There was a time in my life, for example, that following the peace meant I'm going to go and I'm going to use ChatGPT to go start looking for a job to get more financial stability. It never led to getting a job. But it opened my mind to other possibilities that led to me being inspired with things I would have never thought of because I never had that experience before. That led to greater possibilities. So you follow the inspired action. And then you, especially as you're about to fall asleep at night, get back in the state of I'm the person who already has this. It's normal for me to be this person. Whatever you set your normal to be is what you will create. Now, there are times you can wish hard enough and end up having an experience, but if you haven't changed yourself into the person who lives that life, that experience is kind of like a flash in the pan. Ooh, I had this one lucky day, and the rest of it goes back. These are the people that win the lottery and then go bankrupt a few years later because they've never shifted who they are. They had an experience that often magnified who they were on the other side. So if you want to live a life you've never lived before, if you want to have financial freedom, the healthy body that you've always wanted, the beautiful relationships, or anything else, make being the person who has those things normal, and reality will match you. Because there's nothing greater than the power of you. And I mean nothing greater than the power of you. When you are in alignment, you will naturally create your happiest life. See you next time.